All right, guys. Hey, it's Carl. Listen, today we're talking about a rant, all right? I can't help it. I got this rant I've been watching, and it's just simply this. It's Houston Astros players, why they can't be punished. They can't be punished. So, like, subscribe, please hit the bell, comment, whatever you need to do, help us grow the channel. I've been sitting on this Astros stuff. I've been trying not to comment, staying out of it, doing all that stuff. And I found out all the YouTubers are supposed to get on and talk about breaking news, which there is no breaking news. But the bottom line is they can't be punished. And I'm going to tell you why. So come on in. Let's talk about it. Astros players, why they can't be punished. All right, guys, like I told you, man, this is a rant. I can't hold it in anymore. I'm tired of listening to it. I don't want to hear about what other players are saying about other players or about what other coaches are saying about other coaches or general managers or any of that. The general public, it's all junk, for lack of a better term. And here's why it's all junk, guys. It's because the players can't be punished, all right? So let me give you a little quick timeline, tell you why they can't be. And before you get carried away and frustrated, it just all comes down to basic business principles, right? There's insurance companies in this world that aren't allowed to fail because they're too big to fail. And that's kind of the way big businesses run. So let me break it down to you a little bit. So let's back it all the way up. In 2017, the Yankees in Boston got busted for flat out, well, no, you know what? Before that, let me back up on this, all right? Let me tell you this. Number one, stealing signs is not against the rules. Been doing it since the beginning of time. It's not a problem with stealing signs. You look over, you try to see what the coach is doing in the dugout, if you can figure it out. You look down from second base, you try to figure out what's the catcher giving, you try to figure it out. That's the way the game goes. And I'm moving fast because it's a freaking rant and I'm tired of hearing about it, right? Stealing signs isn't against the rules. All right, now let's get up to it. Now, Red Sox and Yankees are busted in 2017 for stealing signs, but they're not busted for stealing signs. They're busted for having technology used to steal the signs. Somebody from a booth, someplace with a camera and monitors, was sending information to an employee of the teams in the dugout with a smartwatch, letting them know what was going on. Now, we don't know specifically what they were letting them know, but we do know specifically they were stealing signs using technology. At that time, Rob Manfred, whether you like him or not, you decide, does an investigation. He realizes these two teams are cheating, and he then brings into play that it is now, for the first time ever in the history of baseball, illegal to use technology to steal signs, right? Now, we have technology in place to make players better. You can watch your at-bats, you can watch pitches and how you're throwing, your delivery. It's player development. It's great for the game. That same technology of cameras out in center field were being used to steal signs from catchers to pitchers, right? He says, hey, you can no longer do this. Okay, great job, Rob. He punishes the Yankees with whatever he gives them. He sends out notice to all the general managers of the league. Says, hey, technology will never, ever be legal to use. You cannot use technology. There's no use of cell phones and apparatus that have outside feeds, wires, emails, texts, and stuff so many minutes before each game by players, by staff, whatever. He does a good job. He gets that out there, whatever. From that point forward, here's point number 3. Our boy, Mr. Lunau, decides he gets this information and decides not to get this information to his team. And this is where the deal comes in, where the players, Houston Astros, they're not my team, sorry for using that phrase, cannot be punished. The general manager's job is to get this information, take it in for the organization, and then disperse it as needed, right? And so this is something that needs to be dispersed to everybody, including the players. It's documented through the research of Rob Manfred that Lunau did not send notice to the players. He did not notify the players. So there's only 3 reasons why this would happen. Okay, the number one is Lunau, I'm ranting, I don't even get the names right. Lunau is by far the worst general manager in the history of the game. That's one reason why he wouldn't send it. Now, I don't believe that. I've seen the Houston Astros and some of the moves he's made. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. But one reason why he wouldn't send this on is because he's by far the worst general manager in the history of the game. I'm cutting that one off the list. That's definitely not true. The second reason would be he's got something to hide. He's trying to hide and make sure that whatever he knows, he doesn't. He's just like, hey, I can protect this. I can make sure this works. Sweep it under the rug. Keep it behind the sheet. Just keep it in-house. It'll never catch up to us. That's the second reason. And the third reason is he is paid to jump on the grenade. Hey, if this goes down, if there's a problem, you're getting fired, and I got a side deal for you or something on one of my 9 million companies, and you just jump on this grenade, take it like a boss, go off in the sunset, don't worry about it, you'll be taken care of. I don't know which one it is. I just know it's not number one. I know he's not the worst general manager of all time and just forgot to send out this important information, all right? Now, let's get to the point. Now, because of the history that I just told you, and I told you very briefly with very few documented facts, but we all know the story, the players are protected by the MLPA, Players Association, and by the Collective Bargaining Agreement, the CBA. And because they're protected by that, if they weren't given notice, then they can't possibly be under the guidelines of the corporation, the MLB Corporation, Houston Astros Corporation, because they weren't given the rules. So if they weren't served a notice, they cannot be punished for this. Now, everybody will say that's a bunch of junk. They should lose their ring. They should lose their numbers. They should be punished, each player who's officiated part of the cheating and all that. And you can say all that you want to. And you can believe whatever you want. And morally speaking, you could be right. But let's just go with as big of a doo-doo show as this has been. When Manfred comes and says, hey, I'm punishing the players and I'm taking back your rings and there's no World Series. And just one player says, nope, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to file a grievance. And it's proven in the grievance that that player was never notified that what they were doing was against the rules. Whether they believed it or knew it or not, that they weren't notified at the proper times with the proper methods, they're going to win their grievance. So that player, and I guarantee you if one does it, more than one's going to do it, then that player is going to beat the heads in of MLB and get everything reversed and turned around. And as bad as it looked to them not allowing these guys to go unpunished, it's going to look worse when you say, hey, we decided to punish you, but we couldn't do it and you overturned it through a grievance and you kicked our faces in with our own rules. Now, you can say whatever you want, but I can tell you this. This is what happened in the steroid era, and this is what's happening now. The players are protected by a union. Unions are strong. One of the most largest corporations in the world to still have unions in play. And let me tell you right now, there's no way that these players can be punished. And that's why this is behind us now and we're moving forward. And even the guys who are getting on, calling out the players for cheating, calling out the players for all this stuff, these are the same guys who under the CBA and under the MLBPA are receiving protection for things like Adderall, for things like human growth hormone because the pituitary glands aren't working, or whatever. Everybody in the league is receiving some type of protection, and they should really keep their mouth shut, take the protection, because that's what's keeping them going. And yeah, there's some guys who are super clean and don't have any problems, but the rest of them, they're all a part of a union, and they're all taking care of business. So as long as that's going on, these players can't be punished, and that's just the way it goes. And I had to rant because I'm tired of hearing about it. Every time I walk down the street, people asking me, want to know what's going on. That's what's going on. Cannot be punished. It's okay. Get over it. I had to rant. That's a rant. Long, full out. Hey, Houston Astros can't be punished. This is why. You know it now. You've heard it here. Check it out. Do your own research. It's out there. Everybody can read it. All right, then. When in doubt, hit it out. I'm done.